Hello, I'm Charles Vitale, Deputy Chief for the Clermont Police Department. According to the Federal Trade Commission, more than 2.5 million complaints were filed last year, with an estimated loss of $1.7 billion to fraud. The Clermont Police Department is committed to reducing fraud in the community that we serve. The following is a collaborative effort with one simple goal: to prevent you from becoming a victim of fraud.
It breaks my heart, just to see people, get deceived. I mean, that's what fraud is.
Person under what is called the ether, and that is an emotional state that brings you down so low that you're acting based off emotions and not off rational decisions.
It's very hard to go to those calls because you feel so bad for these people, because you know how hard they probably worked, how long it took to save that money, and all they were trying to do was do something good, and it ended up being the worst day of their lives. So.
And every time somebody used my credit card fraudulently, the way I would find out is the bank would call me and say, hey, we have charges out of state. So now I had to cancel that credit card. I had to call all my bill providers and let them know that I'm canceling that credit card, I can't pay the bill this month, or I can't pay it just yet because I have to wait for the other credit card to come in, and it takes 10 days. And that happened to me 5 different times. So it was very frustrating. So I can feel for anybody that's fraudulently victimized.
Sitting down with your friends to enjoy a meal. You eat, you talk, then it's time to pay your bill. Without thinking, you hand over your credit card. Before you're back in your car, someone could have your information. They could be draining your accounts before you even reach the next stop. This may sound far-fetched, but it happens every day. Fraud and scams cost U.S. citizens $40 billion a year, according to the Fraud Research Center. With fraud causing crippling debt and even destroying lives, the Clermont Police Department is stepping in to protect you.
So it could be through lying to you, it could be through emails, in person, reaching out to you at your own home sometimes, or on a phone call. And they'll try to solicit things to you, either a product or an idea, in order to gain something back from you.
Deceived. I mean, that's what fraud is. It's deliberate deception, and yeah, it's not fair, because people work so hard for their money, and when that happens, it's not a good situation.
Fraud is criminal deception where the person has the intent to make a personal gain or a financial gain.
People can get your social security number and file your taxes for you. People can get you to give them money by telling you a few certain things about a family member and you believing them. So there's many different types of fraud.
Identity theft, you got the Nigerian 419.
There's different scams for different age groups, I guess. A lot of times older people get scammed more than the younger crowd. I don't know if it's because we're more knowledgeable of the frauds that are going on, because it's new age frauds that are happening that the older generation isn't aware of. They'll say things like, hey, your granddaughter's been in a really bad accident, what's her name? And then they'll give her name. And they'll say, yes, that's her. What kind of car does she drive? And she'll say, oh, well, it's a Kia or a Honda or whatever it is. And they'll agree. They'll say, oh, yeah, that's it. Now, the con artist didn't know, but now the grandmother gave that information.
Anytime someone tells you you won this, how did you win it if you didn't play anything? It can be anything from the lottery to, a raffle. If you didn't play it, good chance you didn't win.
The first red flag's unsolicited. If it's unsolicited, basically, if you didn't ask for it, it's probably something's wrong with it. If it's telling you won the lottery and you never even played in that lottery, you probably didn't win the lottery.
They're pressuring you that you need to pay right now. That's a good indicator right there, because most times it's there's going to be slight pressure from an actual organization, but it's not going to be to the fact that if you hang up, it's not going to happen.
The con artists will call, and con artists will make 1,000 phone calls a day. And if they can get one person to believe their story, they've won.
One is, if this is a free prize, all you got to do is pay for the tax or the shipping and handling. that's a great indicator of a scam going on.
Don't carry your Social Security with you all the time. You don't need it unless you're going to a job interview.
If they're calling you and they're saying that they're a business and then they're asking you for information, unless your Social Security number, your driver's license number, your address, don't give it to them. You did not call them. There's no reason they need these things. So basically, just be aware of who you're talking to and really think about it. Why would my electric company be calling me, asking me my Social Security number? They already have that on file. So something's wrong here. So just know who you're talking to and really think about it before you start giving out information.
Don't give information over the phone to anybody about your Social Security, your date of birth, or any personal information, account information over the phone. If anybody needs to request that kind of stuff, it's best to always go there, show your personal identification, and that way it just creates that sense of security between you and whoever you're making a transaction with.
It was a wallet, actually. Wallet in the car. He went in to pay for gas, came back out. Within 10-15 minutes, he had 4 or 5 transactions already on his card.
Just keep track of where you're using your credit card. If you're going to the bank or you're going to the gas station, make sure there's not a skimmer or something that's attached to the gas pump or the ATM that looks like it was attached there and it's not supposed to be there. Wiggle it.
Get the name of who you're talking to. Chances are they're not going to tell the truth, but you can give it a shot. Just as you're talking to them, write down what they're saying. If they call, just hang up immediately. Okay, call us. Don't be afraid to call us. A lot of people, when they fall for these scams, they're embarrassed to call the police because they just feel like they should have known better. But call us, hang up and call us. The information we get is what we have. Frauds are very hard to track these people down. This is their day job. This is what they do from 9 to 5. They are very good at it. Their intent is to get everything you own if they can, and they're not going to stop. So really just get as much information as you can to provide us, because that's all we have. So. The bank's on the same page, on the same issue. They're not going to refund you your money unless they have that case number, because people do that as well. They call banks and say, oh, somebody stole my money, and really nobody stole their money. They spent it on new shoes or something. They're not. So they need that case number to move forward in their investigation.
The Clermont Police Department wants to make sure you know how to protect yourself from fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
It's too good to be true, it's probably not true. That's just one of those things that people fall for because they want it.
But as far as the points is, if it's too good to be true, it is.
Most people, when they talk about fraud, they always think, I'm too smart for this. It's never going to happen to me. When sometimes it's out of your control.
Oh my goodness, I'm an idiot for doing this. I should have not fall for this. But it's pretty common and it's happening more and more every day. These people are smart, they're intelligent, they're in the business of making money. They're in the business of trying to get the money fast. So unfortunately, people fall for their easy, sly ways of getting into your brain or your heart.
Usually I go by this rule. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is.